The Trump administration has initiated a significant move. It is now targeting federal contracts with Harvard University. This action represents a new peak in ongoing tensions. The administration has directed federal agencies to review their existing agreements. They must identify and cancel contracts deemed non-critical. This directive has sent ripples through both government and academic circles. The reasons cited are multifaceted. They touch upon civil rights and university policies. The administration's patience with Harvard appears to be wearing thin. This move signals a decisive, perhaps punitive, stance. This development did not occur in a vacuum. It is the latest chapter in a contentious relationship. The administration has previously expressed strong disapproval of Harvard. Concerns have been raised over various aspects of the university's operations. These include admissions policies and campus culture. The current focus on federal contracts suggests a strategic escalation. Federal Acquisition Service Commissioner Josh Grunbaum is spearheading this review. He has instructed agencies to transition to other vendors if necessary. This instruction underscores the seriousness of the administration's intent. It marks a clear effort to exert pressure on the institution. The administration has provided several justifications for this drastic measure. Officials state the aim is to bolster civil rights. They accuse Harvard of defying a significant Supreme Court ruling. This ruling banned the consideration of race in university admissions. Furthermore, the administration points to alleged inaction. This inaction concerns harassment of Jewish students on campus. These are serious allegations. They form the core of the government's public explanation. The U.S. General Services Administration, GSA, is assisting agencies. Their involvement ensures alignment with the administration's strategic priorities. The potential consequences of this decision are substantial. Harvard University stands to lose significant funding. More broadly, this action could set a precedent. It might affect how the federal government interacts with other academic institutions. The academic world is watching closely. The implications for research funding are particularly concerning. Many research projects rely on federal support. The directive requires agencies to report their intended actions soon. The deadline is June 6, 2025. This tight timeline indicates a sense of urgency. It also suggests a desire for swift implementation. The conflict between the Trump administration and Harvard University is not new. It has been brewing for some time. This latest action is a significant escalation. Previously, the administration took other punitive steps. In April 2025, over $2 billion in research grants and contracts to Harvard were frozen. This was a substantial financial blow. It signaled a hardening stance. The administration also attempted to revoke Harvard's ability to enroll international students. This move was temporarily blocked by a federal judge. A hearing on that matter was set for a Thursday, relative to late May 2025 reports. These prior actions illustrate a pattern of increasing pressure. The administration has been quite specific in its demands. It has called for changes in Harvard's policies. These include policies on hiring and admissions. Diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs have also come under scrutiny. The administration wants Harvard to screen international students more rigorously. The stated aim is to identify support for terrorism or anti-Semitism. These demands reflect deep ideological differences. They highlight a fundamental disagreement. This disagreement is about the role and conduct of higher education institutions. The administration seeks to reshape Harvard's approach in these critical areas. A key component of the administration's efforts has been the task force to combat anti-Semitism. This task force has been actively involved. It demanded a review of Harvard's admissions and hiring practices. This review was specifically linked to concerns about anti-Semitism on campus. The task force's involvement underscores the administration's focus. It highlights the perceived failures at Harvard. The administration believes these failures necessitate federal intervention. The task force's recommendations likely influence the decision to target contracts. Its findings have added weight to the administration's broader critique of the university. This ongoing battle reflects a larger cultural and political clash. It is not merely about one university, it is about the relationship between the government and academia. The administration appears determined to hold institutions accountable. This accountability is defined by its own set of priorities. These priorities often diverge from those held by many in the academic community. The actions against Harvard serve as a warning. They signal to other universities the potential consequences. These consequences arise from perceived non-compliance with administration directives, or from perceived failures to address specific social issues. The directive to cancel federal contracts is precise. Federal agencies have been ordered to conduct a thorough review. They must scrutinize all current contracts with Harvard University. The instruction comes from Federal Acquisition Service Commissioner Josh Gruenbaum. He has mandated that non-critical contracts be terminated. Agencies are also to find alternative vendors for these services. This is a clear and direct order. It leaves little room for interpretation. The goal is to sever financial ties where possible. This action is meant to be both swift and impactful. It demonstrates the administration's resolve. The financial stakes are considerable. The contracts under review are estimated to be worth around $100 million. While this is a fraction of Harvard's total budget, it is not insignificant. Approximately 30 contracts are currently being examined. These contracts cover a wide range of services and research. For example, one contract for $39,000 involves graduate student research services, another worth $50,000 with the National Institutes of Health funds research on coffee drinking effects. A larger contract valued at $523,000 supports research on energy drinks. These examples show the diversity of federally funded activities at the university. The U.S. General Services Administration, GSA, is playing a crucial role. It is assisting federal agencies in this review process. The GSA's involvement ensures a coordinated approach. It also aligns the review with the administration's overarching goals. The directive states that federal contracted services must uphold agency strategic priorities. This implies that Harvard's current services in some cases do not. The deadline for agencies to report their actions is June 6, 2025. This tight time frame suggests the administration wants quick results. It aims to minimize any delay in severing these contractual ties. The administration's rationale extends beyond simple contract management. It is framed as a necessary step. This step is to ensure accountability and adherence to national values. The accusations against Harvard are serious. They include defying a Supreme Court ruling on admissions. They also include failing to address anti-Semitism adequately. These are the stated reasons for this robust action. The targeting of these specific contracts, from research to services, sends a strong message. It indicates that no area of federal engagement with Harvard is off-limits. This action is comprehensive in its scope. Harvard University has reacted with significant concern. Harvard President Alan Garber voiced these worries publicly. He emphasized the potential negative impact on valuable research. Garber stated that cutting off research funding hurts the entire country. It does not just harm Harvard. He acknowledged that there are issues on campus. These particularly relate to anti-Semitism and viewpoint diversity. However, he questioned the methods employed by the administration. He implied that such drastic measures might be counterproductive. Harvard's leadership is clearly troubled by this federal action. They see it as detrimental to national interests. In response to the administration's escalating pressure, Harvard has taken legal action. The university is suing the federal government. This lawsuit challenges the freezing of research grants. It also contests the attempt to revoke international student enrollments. This legal battle signifies Harvard's determination to resist. The university believes the administration's actions are an overreach. It argues they may be legally unfounded. The outcome of this litigation will be closely watched. It could have far-reaching implications for institutional autonomy. It also tests the limits of federal power over universities. The broader implications for academic research are profound. Federal funding is the lifeblood for many research projects. This is true across numerous disciplines. If the government can selectively withdraw funding based on policy disagreements, it creates uncertainty. This uncertainty can stifle innovation and discourage long-term research commitments. Other universities might become hesitant. They may fear similar repercussions. This could lead to a chilling effect on academic freedom. It might also influence the types of research pursued. Institutions could shy away from controversial or politically sensitive topics. Ultimately, this situation could reshape the relationship between federal agencies and universities. President Trump himself mentioned a potential reallocation. He spoke on Truth Social about $3 billion in grant money. This money could be moved from Harvard to trade schools. This statement highlights a shift in priorities. It suggests a preference for vocational training over traditional academic research. The long-term effects could be a diminished role for universities. They might see less federal support for fundamental research. This could alter the landscape of American higher education. It would also impact the nation's research capacity.